So introduction to quality, as well as we will try to understand what is lean and then what is Six Sigma. First of all, before getting into the subject, I would like to talk about this. What can actually make you successful in your career, in your professional career? You all wanted to become a manager and eventually become a leader. Eventually, later on, you will realize that you wanted to become an entrepreneur, a company of your own. So there is a famous book written by Stephen Covey in which he talked about 7 important habits one should have to remain effective. And these are the points. I think these points are self-explanatory, proactive. Always you should begin with an end in mind. You should learn to prioritize. First things first, right? And think win-win. And then listen to get listened. And synergize. And finally, sharpen the saw. That means you learn continuously. You focus on continuous improvement. So these are definitely required in your personal life so that you can remain effective and you can be super successful in your personal life. Like you can easily connect it with your day-to-day activities. You don't have to wait for the failures to happen in your life. You can be proactive, right? Any journey you start, yes, you have to start with a clear goal in mind. And always life is full of choices. There are multiple offers coming from company at the same time, multiple projects, multiple contracts. Now, you can only work on one at a time. So which is going to be your first one? Then which is going to be the next to it? This is called art of prioritization. Think win-win. Can you keep the scenario always win-win? Like your customer is also happy about your business and your business is also profitable. That means it's really a win-win scenario. And are you listening to everyone's voice in your ecosystem? Whether the customers are happy, your employees are happy, the management is happy, the stakeholders, all the stakeholders, whether the environment is happy, whether the society is happy, right? And always, it's a good idea to listen, and so that they can also listen to you later on. And synergize. Are you utilizing your resources wisely in the correct strategic direction? What do you want to achieve in the next 3 to 5 years? Are you really utilizing your resources in that direction? Or are you scattered? That's the meaning of synergize. And finally, we should stay updated. Battle can come anytime. You should be ready for the battle well in advance, right? You can't do anything in the last minute. This is what Stephen Covey has pointed out in his beautiful book, and several million copies sold. The same thing, if you practice in your professional life, do you think that will also make you successful in your professional career? If the answer is yes, that is what you will be learning here in this course. You are knowingly, unknowingly, directly, indirectly, you are going to develop these skills, but for a professional scenario, not just, your day-to-day life. You can obviously use it in your day-to-day life also, but in a real-time environment. Let's say there are a lot of rejections. Let's say the customer complaints are, very frequently happening. Let's say the on-time deliveries never happens. Let's say your sales is continuously going down. Yes, you need these skills. You need to, in fact, implement all these things so that you can get rid of all those, problems in your business. So Lean Six Sigma or Six Sigma gives you methodology, gives you tools, gives you techniques so that you can exhibit, demonstrate these skills in your professional work. So the training is all about developing certain skills which are very, very essential for your career progress, which are very, very essential for your business success. This is exactly Lean Six Sigma. And all these things you will be learning as we progress. Six Sigma is a defect prevention approach. You can use it for correction. There is no limitation for anything. You learn everything and then finally you can use it the way it is required. Six Sigma is basically a defect prevention approach so that you can make reliable products. You can produce reliable products. You can give 3 years warranty and your product will comfortably go through the warranty period. That means, you have prevented the chances of defects to happen in your product. So Six Sigma is a defect prevention approach. Every Six Sigma project will have a clear goal. And Pareto is a tool for prioritization you will be learning, which is also one of the 7 basic QC tool. prioritization matrix. And there are many other tools you will be using, like Kano model is a prioritization tool. And your QFD is a prioritization tool. So what is prioritization, and what are the tools which can help you to prioritize properly? You will be learning in the course. And business case, anything you do, are you really bringing returns to the business? Any project you do, yes, there is an investment. What is the return on investment? How much time it is going to take? And voice of the customer, systems approach, continuous learning, all these things you can easily correlate to the points which are mentioned by Stephen Covey. All of you, can you see the relationship in my slide? So nothing but, these are this all of us already practice, already we realized these are very important. But similarly, we will realize the same thing in our professional environment also. That means you are a Six Sigma expert. That's all. Another thing all of you need to understand is when you are driving a project, most of the time projects fail, particularly when people talk about Six Sigma project. Yes, the failure rate is very high. Does it mean Six Sigma is an useless approach? Does it mean the tools and techniques are ineffective? No. The way you implemented or the way the methodology is used, the tools and techniques are used, something is wrong. The environment. So we need to understand the big reasons for failure of a project so that you can prevent those factors when you are trying to deploy Lean and Six Sigma in any environment. The first and foremost reason why projects fail is inappropriate mindset and culture. There is no proper mindset, there is no proper culture to appreciate continuous improvement. In the absence of which, any initiative, even if you work hard, you will not be able to produce the results, right? So mindset and then culture is very important. What's the difference between mindset and culture? How you think as an individual, that is a reflection of your mindset. How you think and behave as a group, that is called culture. Both are important. Both must be supportive, right? So it's you alone becoming a Six Sigma expert is not going to be enough for your company. Everyone should wear a belt, right? And that's why there are different belt levels. Why yellow belt, green belt, black belt, master black belt, and all those things, champion. Everyone in the organization understand the purpose of deploying Six Sigma in our company. Everyone in our organization knows why our organization is so serious about ensuring quality in everything we are doing. If that is the case, you can say the culture is supportive, right? And it is only with the supportive mindset, supportive culture, Six Sigma efforts can produce result. Make sure such a culture is created before deploying Lean Six Sigma. You do anything, you try out the basic ideas, organize your workplace, have a clear documentation, and then try to standardize your process, create work procedures. After doing everything, and then you will start seeing, a proper culture that is getting developed in your company. Then you can start attacking your high ticket projects. You can start attacking, your higher level of projects with higher level of complexity. Till then, you focusing on your day-to-day problems will be your projects. But after some point of time only, you will realize we have much more, exists to attack. Till then, you will be simply, focusing on all these kind of the day-to-day efforts. But once the appropriate mindset is created, culture is created, yes, your organization is ready for the next level of performance. This is what we call it, scaling up the business. Scaling up the business is possible only after creating a proper culture in the organization. Number 2, using inappropriate tools and techniques. For a particular, the tools are there for a specific purpose. A screwdriver has to be used for the particular purpose only. Isn't it? A cutting plier must be used for some other purpose. You can't, try to do everything, with whatever you have in your hand. Let's say you wanted to, tighten a screw. You can tighten the screw with your bare hand also. You can also use the screwdriver also. Which is more appropriate? Using the screwdriver. It will effortlessly You will perform well. At the same time, the purpose is also solved. Similarly, many times we use wrong choice of the tools. There are 7 QC tools, 7 basic QC tools, 7 management tools. First of all, we should use all these tools very comfortably. When to use a Pareto, when to use a control chart, when to use a histogram, when to use your check sheet, when to use your the fishbone diagram. So we have to have a clarity and on usage of the tools, and that you will be learning. And this is another reason why projects fail. And third reason why projects fail is uncertainty in measurement. Six Sigma is data driven. Why it is data driven? Because the situation we want to solve is a complex situation. Nobody is having a clue about the solution, and nobody is clear about the root cause. Nobody knows why the problem is happening, but problem is repeatedly happening. And now that's the reason why we go data driven. But every time you collect data, trust me, your data will always come with error. You can't just like that. You can't collect error-free reading. But if you can, if it is only a minimum of error is there, then no worries. But if your data is full of error, do you think your data will be very useful? Definitely no. That will be a useless data. Garbage in will be garbage out. So you should learn to measure the measurement error. You should learn to measure the measurement error. If the error is under control, within the standards, within the prescription, yes, your data is worthy for analysis. Otherwise, if you do not know how much error is there in your data, you are still using the data and then saying that, I am data driven. It is as good as driving a car by closing your eyes. If you don't check whether your data is clean or credible for analysis, and still you are using it, and you are driving your car super fast in a highway just by closing your eyes. You should never do that, and you will not be able to reach the destination. So uncertainty in measurement, that is another reason for failure. Another fourth important reason, lack of methodology. People do not know where to begin and when to end, and what to do in between. How to identify a project. But just like that, they talk about 100 projects. But even for project identification, there are tools. There is a methodology. So Six Sigma gives the most powerful methodology as on date. We call it DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control. There are many problem-solving methodologies exist. Like your DMAT, you have PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act. You have PDSA, Plan, Do, Study, Act. You have quality circle approach. You have Kaizen's approach. You have 8D methodology. You have A3 methodology. Use anything that you want. But the DMAT methodology, you can keep it on top of everything, because it takes into account all the possible ways a project can fail, and it will caution you well in advance, so that you will not make any mistake while driving a project, and you will definitely drive it towards success, and your project will produce results. All that required is you need to take care of all these things. If you are methodical in nature, people will start trusting you. First of all, people will find the leader in you, because you know what is the first step, what is the next step, and so you can assign the responsibility, and then people will start accepting you as a project leader, right? So methodology is another important reason. And inadequate process knowledge. The project team that is trying to fix a problem, they themselves do not have adequate knowledge about the process. This is another, most of the time we put the efforts in improving a process, in studying a process, improving a process. Later we realize that the process is not at all responsible for the failure. What is the use? Like here also in the Six Sigma training, there are many processes that are connected. What are the processes here? We are training. We are teaching you. It's a teaching process. We all do. What we do as trainer is teaching. What you do as a participant is learning. And the examination is conducted. That is called assessment. And initially, how all of you are here in the program, that is to a process called marketing. And then in between, there is some onboarding. Each and everything is a process. You may have an unpleasant experience in any of this process. Let's say the onboarding, there were a lot of confusion. You are not given direction, proper direction, how to attend the class and all those things. And now I'm trying to improve my the course delivery. Will it serve the purpose? No. Problem is with the onboarding. But the process we are talking about is the training process or the teaching process. Let's say participants are not attentive in the class. Tell me which is the process now connected. Is it the teaching, or is it the learning, or is it the assessment, or is it the marketing, or is it the onboarding? If participants are not attentive, this is related to the learning. Who is the process owner for the learning? The participant themselves are the process owner. If you have a problem with the learning process and you working on the teaching process, do you think that will help? This is called process knowledge. Try to figure out the processes that you have in your company. There is machining, there is welding, there is assembly, there is packaging, there is billing, there is order sourcing, there is marketing, there is logistics, there is supply chain, there is R&D. Where exactly is the problem? What is the process behind? You need to work in that process. Working in a wrong area and expecting, beautiful results will never happen. This is called process knowledge. And that is why a beautiful tool will be taught to you, which is called a SIPOC. That will ensure you always work on the right process. SIPOC is a tool that will ensure you focus your effort in the right place, right? And last but not the least, but this is only, 6 major reasons, not the complete list I'm telling. Another reason why projects fail is sometimes project team work on improving an unstable process. What is unstable? Your results are not consistent, but you are expecting better result. The first thing to focus is consistency. Consistency is the key. If consistency itself is a problem, you must focus on achieving the consistency. This is what is called statistical control. Achieving consistency is called statistical control. If statistical control is achieved, improvement is possible. If statistical control is missing, improvement is impossible. All of you agree with my logic? If statistical control is possible, improvement is possible. If statistical control is missing, improvement is impossible. Imagine you are a teacher delivering a lecture like me. And there are 2 situations now. You can have good control over your students. You can also have poor control over your students. If you have good control over your students are very attentive now. Your students are listening to you. That means, you have control. And now you wanted to improve the performance of the students. So you are improvising your lecture. Will it yield some better result? Your students are paying attention. The students are, really attentive. And now you are improving your delivery. Will it improve the performance of the students?
Yes, sir.
Definitely will improve. Imagine the other scenario where your students are completely out of control. You have poor control over your students. Nobody is sitting in your class, but you are improvising your lecture. Will it yield result? You are just talking to the open space. Students are not there. Even if they are not there, they are not actually listening to you. They are looking at something else. So the similar mistake we may also do in our business process. Our process is first of all not in control. This is what medical doctors will also be doing. They will give the treatment only if the patient is stable enough. If patient is not stable and you start your treatment, your operation will be successful. But what will happen to the patient? Your patient will be dead, right? The same mistake we may also do. So what is statistical control? Whether our process is really ready for the improvement, all these things you need to understand. If the process is out of control, the first goal should be bring the statistical control. Make it produce the results consistently. If you can consistently achieve a sale of 10 crores, you can now plan for 15 crores. Isn't it? If your sale is fluctuating between 2 crores and 10 crores, first of all, you should stabilize. If you can achieve 10 crores, try to continuously achieve 10 crores. Then later on you plan for 15 crores. Right? So these are the 6 main reasons. Hope all of you understand all the 6 important factors. Don't give room for these factors to play when you are trying to deploy Six Sigma or any improvement effort, any improvement initiative. Shall we proceed?
Awesome.
Sir, can I request you to go back to that point, mindset and culture?
Yeah.
And just focus a little bit more on that, please. Just how is it different from methodology?
No, methodology is altogether a different factor.
Right.
Mindset and culture are related to people. How people
Right.
are thinking, how people are behaving. Like we want to keep our house very neat and clean. Am I right?
Right, yeah.
That's our mindset.
Right.
Because we want to stay productive. Whenever we are in the house, we want to stay productive. Right? That's the reason why we organize our house properly. But
yes,
after cleaning the house, where we throw all the garbages.
Can I come?
Sir, 1 minute. We throw all the garbages onto the street.
Yes. Right.
That's our
not good.
culture.
Yeah.
How all of us, behave as a group.
Right.
If we wanted to keep our streets, our state, our country clean, we may not throw it, onto the road. We'll dispose them properly. So similarly, how individuals think in your organization, how they think and behave as a group, that's very important, isn't it?
Right. Right.
So you can keep your workplace cluttered, unorganized, or you can always, even go to the extent of, helping others also in the organization. If someone is really struggling to organize his workplace and you going there and then helping them so that, you are trying to create a great culture.
Right.
Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right. So now we are moving on to the...
Sir, once again,
yes.
that 5th and 6th point, can you explain again? Like inadequate process knowledge means if the knowledge is not proper, then there will be issues, right?
At least you should know, you should make a right guess about which is the process that is responsible for the failure. Let us say every month, your wife is spending more than what you are earning. Most of us, face this problem, right? We earn lakhs, but then the expense, every monthly expense is more than that. And now what should you do now? You should try to minimize your expenses where your wife is actually spending more. Am I correct? Whether the medical bills are more, or whether the entertainment expenses are more, or whether the food expenses are more, how the money is going, where the money is going, and try to figure out the area where you should actually focus and try to add some control measures. So what happens? The expense is always brought below. So we will be talking in detail about each and everything, right? I've only given the outline. My point is you should work on improving the right process. The process that is actually responsible for the failure.
So this inadequate process knowledge means it is like a knowledge gap. Like in a team, like if 5 people know something, 3 people don't.
I'm not talking about the expertise. I'm not talking about the subject expertise. You can always have a subject matter expert.
Okay.
At least you should know that a subject matter expert is required to be included in the project team.
Okay. Yeah.
Isn't it? So
yeah,
at least you should know the process. See, there are a lot of billing errors. What is the problem now? Billing error. And now you are trying to improve the packaging process. Are you working in the right area? Packaging is different. Problem is connected to
billing.
Sir,
can I in between? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You should know the input and output of the process. If that is clear, then you can attack on the correct process.
Yes. Yeah. Right. So I'm only trying to give all of you a broader idea, right? Broader idea. And so that, when you are working on a project, you will think in the right manner. And we will be going deeper in every aspect of, whatever reason I'm mentioning here. Now, going to an equation of business. There is a first equation, old equation. What is written there? cost plus profit is equal to price. The manufacturing cost and the overhead, all those things included, cost per product is 100 rupees. I want 20 rupees profit. So I will add 20 rupees. Now my price of the product is 120 rupees. After 2 years, I want more profit. Now what will I do? I will look at my cost, manufacturing cost. And now the manufacturing cost is 110 rupees. Now I want more profit. I want 30 rupees profit. So I will add 30 rupees to my cost. So 110 plus 30. Now the price of the product is 140. So what is your idea of maximizing the profit? You increase the price. Am I correct? Your idea of profit maximization is increasing the price. That is the old equation. But do you think this thinking will work in all scenarios? If you are a monopoly, you don't have competitors, and the price, you are allowed to decide on the price. Those are the situation you can use this equation. But in my opinion, 95% of the situation, competitors exist. Am I correct?
Right.
And 95% of the situation, market conditions will decide the price. Customer can even go to the extent of fixing the price. That's the today's scenario. In that case, you must start understanding the new equation, where price minus cost is equal to profit.
Profit.
Or otherwise, price equal to profit minus cost. Right? So price is fixed. Your price is 120 rupees. It is the market price. You can't keep on increase the price. Maybe customer can even expect you to decrease the price. We all should have come across this, isn't it? Now the price is 120, but you want more profit. Now what is left with you? The cost of manufacturing, isn't it? If the price is fixed by the market, at the same time you want more profit, then you have control only over the cost. Try to minimize the cost, reduce the cost, thereby you will be able to maximize the profit. The old idea is increase the price to maximize your profit. But the new idea is decrease the cost to maximize the profit. Do you understand the difference?
Right, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Very good. This thinking is called, Six Sigma or Lean Six Sigma. Now, customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction leads to business growth. And because if you ensure your customers are fully satisfied, your business will grow. As the business grows, your profit will also grow. Customer wants faultless quality. That means defect-free products, defect-free services. Customer wants on-time delivery because they wanted to see whether their orders are getting prioritized. Are you giving proper preference? Whenever I place an order, are you giving preference to my order? How do I know? By looking at the on-time delivery. And then quick service. Every time I place an order, is that immediately attended? At the same time, customer wants lowest price. These are the 4 important factors that drive customer satisfaction. Hope all of you agree with me. Now you can even summarize, you can even combine these requirements into 3 things. One is no compromise on the quality. Another thing is on-time delivery. And third one is price should be competitive. The price or the cost is connected to the selling price. Time connected to the customer schedule. Quality is connected to the customer requirement. But now the cost, what is deciding your cost? The cost associated with your process. You can always complicate a process and make it a costlier one. Isn't it? You can always complicate a process and make it a costlier one. You can always make your process super effective and super efficient, make it simple. At the same time, it remains effective and efficient. And so this actually depends on process cost. Your on-time delivery depends on the speed of your process. And the quality depends on process capability. If your process is designed in a way that it can never produce a poor quality product, the process is considered highly capable. Let's say all of you are going through the program and none of you are going to fail in the exam. That means the process is designed in a way that it remains highly capable in all situations. Whether someone is new to Six Sigma or someone is already familiar with Six Sigma, all of them comfortably go through the process and process remains effective. This is called capability, right? So now process cost, you need to minimize the process cost. You need to increase the process speed. You need to increase the process capability so that the customer satisfaction is always at the peak. Hope all of you understand. Everything is boiling down to the process. Can you see that? All the customer requirement depends on the process. How you design the process, how you run the process, how you control it. That actually decides all these requirements. In an ideal situation means it never happens, right? In an ideal situation, these things will happen. Just assume whether all these things are happening in your company. The best quality raw material comes to your company at a very, very minimum price. Is it happening? Just ask for yourself. Second question, your people and processes in your company, always they produce world-class quality. Is it happening? Third statement, you are able to produce at the lowest cost and you always produce when there is a demand. We call it just in time. Is it happening? The fourth one, your products are picked up by customer at your price. Tell me honestly, is it all these statements are true currently in your business scenario? Very difficult.
No.
That's why we call it, ideal situation, right? So in such situation, if all these things happens, there will be a huge profit. But in real life, it is difficult. It is difficult, right? So what is preventing your organization in moving towards the ideal situation? That is my question. What are the constraints? How can you overcome the constraints? The first factor that is coming into picture is the mindset and culture. Isn't it? Everybody should understand and they must start extending their cooperation. Then all other factors will be able to do it. Now, what needs to be done? We need to reduce the cost of the process. How? By reducing the wasteful activities that are part of your process. Right? You can reduce the process cost by eliminating the wasteful activities that are otherwise part of your process. Knowingly, unknowingly, you do something which is useless to anyone. Possible, right? And number two, you can reduce the time by minimizing the delays. Sometimes raw material will be waiting just like that. Raw materials wait unattended. Machineries might be waiting for instruction. Your operators might be waiting for instruction. You might be waiting for your managers, your boss instruction. Waiting in any form is actually a waste, isn't it? So can you eliminate all those delays? That means I want you to speed up your process. Why there is a delay, right? Why there is an unproductive thing happening? And number three, reduce the defects. So reduce the waste, reduce the delay, reduce the defects. You know what will happen? Profit will get maximized. So this is the kind of scenario that might exist in all companies all the time. You can't say your process, is operating at the best capacity. No, always there is a scope for improvement, right? So zero defects. One of you mentioned during your, the introduction, I want to achieve zero defect. You will never achieve. Always, there will be a scope for it. It's a concept. Always there is a chance for a defect to happen. So we will continuously strive for perfection. And perfection is a never-ending journey. Perfection is a never-ending journey. Even if you achieve zero defect, and a new definition of the defect will start appearing now. Zero defect means zero defect in the eyes of the customer, but internally there can be 100 defects. In the eyes of the customer, no defects, but internally in the eyes of your quality inspectors, there are 100 defects can exist. Possible, right? So always there is a scope for improvement. And so you need problem-solving methodologies. If various problem-solving methodologies exist, depending on the kind of problem. If the problem is very simple, easy to understand, just do it. Sometimes this is the methodology, just do it. Participating in the training program, staying, very attentive and staying interactive, doing all the assignments. If you don't do this, yes, that will definitely affect your performance. You know how to tackle it. Just do it. That's all. You try to be participative, try to be interactive, try to complete the assignments. Yes. Similarly, there are many, issues might be going on for which, the solution is simply available. You just do it. Similarly, Kaizen, small improvement. Kaizen means small continuous improvement. It doesn't require much investment. It doesn't require any, new equipment, new resource. With existing resource, with small effort, within a matter of 1 or 2 days, or maximum 1 or 2 weeks, you can fix the problem. You really do not require additional budget. Such problems can be solved using an approach called, or a methodology called Kaizen. Kaizen is a Japanese word. It is actually, one of the lean concept, where K stands for change, Gen stands for better. You change for the better, right? That's Kaizen. PDCA, plan, do, check, act. Lean, Six Sigma, DFSS, project management, A3, 8D. There are many methodologies that exist. Depending on the nature of the problem, you can adopt. In my opinion, all these, you need people who have, the expertise in all these approaches, because some problems will be very complex in nature. Yes, definitely Six Sigma experts are required. Six Sigma green belts and black belts are required. And in some projects, Kaizen approach itself will do. In some projects, PDCA, some companies use A3, some companies use 8D. Ultimately, we wanted to solve a problem. You need to know, you need to understand. It is mainly depending on the complexity of the problem, we choose the methodology. One thing I would like to differentiate here, the difference between Six Sigma and project management, or Six Sigma and other methodologies, right? Six Sigma, particularly difference between Six Sigma and project management. Why I talk about this? Most of the time people confuse between Six Sigma and project management. Some people even ask, sir, should I study project management first or Six Sigma first? So what is project management? Both project management, Six Sigma and Lean are methodologies to achieve breakthrough improvement. Kaizen, just do it, and these are small improvement, small or moderate improvement, but breakthrough improvement. If you want to achieve, if your organization want to achieve breakthrough improvement, first of all, it should educate its employees on Lean, Six Sigma, project management, and all these approaches. So all of them are for breakthrough improvement. Project management means you are trying to solve a problem. You're trying to solve a problem for which a solution already exists. For which a solution already exists. Now, what is the challenge then? The challenge is implementing the solution within the allotted time or available time. The challenge is implementing the solution within the allotted budget or allotted resources. Am I correct? Project management means you need to implement a solution within the allotted time and within the allotted budget. Coming to the Six Sigma, here also you are solving a problem. In addition to the challenge of time and budget, solution itself will be a challenge because solution is not available. Do you understand the difference between project management and Six Sigma? There is a problem which is repeatedly happening. If you don't attend to it, the same problem will happen tomorrow also. It will lead to many more complications if you don't attend to it. Problem is recurring in nature, but solutions are not available. Why? Nobody is clear about the root cause. They are taking some action, but all the actions are on the symptoms and nothing is on the root cause. Such problems are candidate for Six Sigma experts. All of you understand the difference between Six Sigma and project management, right? Similarly, there are other approaches. And within Six Sigma, there are two approaches. One is for correction, another one is for prevention. Correction is DMA-IC, prevention is DMA-DV. When I say correction, I am improved from the current. When I say correction, I am improving from the current. When I say prevention, I am developing something new. I'm developing something new. Killing a disease is DMA-IC. But birth giving is DMA-DV. Hope all of you understand the difference. There is a problem. There is an illness already. You wanted to solve it. You wanted to cure it. So you use a methodology called DMA-IC. You already have products and you're already selling the products. And then there are a lot of customer complaints. There are a lot of defects happening. Every shift, there is a rejection happening. Now you have already a process. You need to improve the process. Thereby, the rejections can go down. Now, which methodology you will use? DMA-IC. Now you want to launch a new product, but you wanted to be very sure that there are no rejections, there are no customer complaints. Now you are using another methodology called DMA-DV. This is called Design for Six Sigma. Design for Six Sigma. Yes, Madhakumar.
So I have a doubt. I think, can you repeat once again the correction and prevention?
Yeah, and also if you can just explain the difference between project management and Six Sigma. I'm a bit confused there.
I've drawn a clear boundary. Project management, you are implementing a solution and you are trying to implement a solution within the allotted time and within the allotted budget. Solution is readily available. Metro project is successful in Delhi. Now you are implementing in Bangalore. That's a project management, example of project management.
Okay.
The new disease is spreading. We don't know why, what is the new disease, what is the root cause. Now it is a project for Six Sigma. Six Sigma is a kind of project where we try to understand the root cause and develop the solution. But project management, the root causes are already understood. Solution is already generated. All that you do is you replicate the solution wherever it is required. That is project management. But there will be challenges, completing the project on time and
resources,
assigning the roles, responsibilities, allocating the resources. All those challenges, yes, project manager will handle. But the responsibility of a project manager of a Six Sigma project is much more than an actual project manager. That's what I'm trying to say. Hope it is clear.
Yep.
Yes.
So key focus of Six Sigma chain of causation. Our survival is...
Sorry, sir, the last part also, can you go back on the previous slide? DMAC and DMA-DV. That also.
One is uplifting the quality of a product is DMAC. Developing a new product is DMA-DV. Uplifting the quality. Why you need to uplift the quality? Because your competitors are doing well, doing better than you. Because there are customer complaints. Now you have to develop your product. I mean, you have to improve your product. That is DMA-IC. Every shift, there is a 10% rejection happening. Now you have to improve your process. Am I correct? Whenever you come across the keyword improvement, use DMA-IC. Whenever you come across the keyword development, use DMA-DV, product development, process development. Anything that you try to build newly, that is called a DFSS project. You are developing new, but you don't want to compromise on the quality. The approach is called DFSS, Design for Six Sigma. That will use a separate methodology, DMA-DV. But improvement will use a methodology called DMA-IC. And we will be seeing all of them in detail. Right now, the borderline is one for improvement, another one is for development.
Okay, just one more question on this. Can DMA-DV be part of DMAC basically? Because in DMAC also you're developing a solution.
DMA-DV can be part of DMAC. Your lean can be part of DMAC. Your Kaizen can be part of DMAC. Possible.
Okay.
Possible. The advanced way of using the learnings. Ultimately, you wanted to grow. That's all. Use in the you can cascade it the way it is required. Ultimately, if you you can achieve some result, that's good.
Correct. But it cannot be the other way around. Like DMAC is part of DFSS. Can that also happen?
Yeah. That's correct. See, the whole idea of DFSS is designed for Six Sigma is produce a product which is readily acceptable right in the first launch. Your first launch itself should be acceptable. That idea is DFSS. Like your marriage. You can't try it many times, isn't it?
That's a wrong example. It can go both ways. I won't comment. Yeah, but yeah, understood what you're trying to say.
Yes. So our survival is dependent upon growing the business. But our business growth is largely determined by customer satisfaction. Customer satisfaction is governed by quality, price, and delivery. The quality, price, and delivery are controlled by process capability. Our process capability is greatly limited by variation. Let's say the supplier quality, the variation is too much. Every week he give different quality of raw material. Will you be able to maintain a consistent quality? Difficult. Right? Your operators, many operators, they very frequently leave the job. And shift to shift, different operators are coming. You have 100 machines, but all of them purchased, at different time. So there will be machine to machine variation. Machine to machine variation, operator to operator variation, shift to shift variation, plant to plant variation, raw material to raw material variation. All these variations are possible. So all these variations will pull down your process capability. Hope all of you understand. Right? And so the whole goal is now control the variation and ultimately reduce the variation because you can't eliminate variation. Right? So process variation leads to increase in defects, increase in the cost, as well as the cycle time. Ultimately, your quality goal, delivery goal, and cost goal, all of them will get damaged, right? So to eliminate the variation, we all must try to apply the right knowledge. Am I correct? Because variation is a statistical concept. Variation is the root cause of all the problem. The bowler is bringing too many variation. Now even a batsman like Sachin Tendulkar will struggle to play. Possible, isn't it? So variation is the biggest enemy of achieving consistency as well as the capability. So in order to apply the right knowledge, we must first acquire it. And to acquire the new knowledge, we must have the will to survive. I really appreciate all of you because you all had that already and you have enrolled. Right? So you understand why are we going to learn the Six Sigma methodology, learn the Six Sigma tools and techniques? Do you know the purpose, all of you? And do you understand the connection with your business? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great.
Yes.
Okay. 12:25. And now I am bringing numbers because Six Sigma is data driven. Six Sigma requires some statistical thinking. I am bringing numbers. You can carefully read the numbers I have given. The selling price of a product is 100 rupees. The cost of the product is 72 rupees. So the profit is 28 rupees. And the production volume is 1000 unit. If the production volume is 1000 unit, to produce 1000 unit, the operating cost is 72,000. Imagine there is a defect rate of 20%. Out of 1000 unit, since there is a defect rate of 20%, 200 units will get rejected. Now 800 units are now saleable. You can raise the bill. And so your invoice will show a figure of 80,000 rupees. Because 800 units you are readily saleable. 800 units multiplied by 100, the revenue is 80,000. What is your operating expense? The operating cost? 72,000. So the difference is your profit, 8,000. In comparison to the revenue you generated, you are operating at a 10% profit. Am I right? Your revenue is 80,000. Your profit is 8,000. That means you are operating at 10% profit. And the revenue is mentioned as 80,000 rupees according to your production capacity of 1,000. Now I am changing the scenario. Now what is that I have changed here? Everything remains same except the defect rate.
Rejection.
The defect rate is reduced from 20% to 10%.
10%.
how it is going to impact your business. Can you see an impact in the revenue as well as profit?
Yes, when compared to scenario 1, scenario 2, we see growth of 18,000, 10,000 more.
10,000 rupees more in the revenue. And profit in terms of percentage, can you see your profit getting doubled now?
Doubled.
100%, 100% increase.
Yes.
Profit is doubled. 10% has now become 20%. Where from this extra 10% came now?
Because of the reduction in defects.
10%.
You reduce the defects by 10%. So your profit is going up by 10%. Can you see the relationship?
Yes, sir.
Any defect reduction effort will reflect in profit maximization. 5% defect reduction, 5% profit growth. That's why we all must focus on defect reduction. Defect reduction is nothing but Six Sigma. That's all. The ultimate goal of Six Sigma is defect reduction. Any project, anything you do, if the ultimate goal is reduce the defect, you are doing a Six Sigma project. That's all. So the simple definition of Six Sigma is defect reduction. And now in order to maximize your profit, double your profit.
Sir, one question. What is this COGS means? Cost of
Goods sold.
Goods sold, okay.
Cost of goods sold plus your operating expense. You have overhead, you have to pay the rent, you have to pay the electricity. All of them put together is called operating cost.
Okay.
Now your profit has increased significantly. This is called bottom line growth. This is called bottom line growth. Your revenue also increased marginally. That is called top line growth. Because any top man would obviously require more revenue. If you are a business owner, yes, you will better appreciate. Your turnover is very important to you. At the same time, profit is a result of the way the activities are happening at the downline. Am I right? If your processes at the downline are really efficient and effective, then your profit will be more. Otherwise, you might produce quality product, but even still you may remain unprofitable. Possible. So that is why profit growth is called bottom line growth and revenue growth is called top line growth. And one more element, operating cost. And now in order to achieve the defect reduction as well as profit growth, have you made any extra investment? Have you brought any new resource? Have you added any machine or have you hired any extra?
No.
Same existing resources only you used, but you managed to maximize the profit. This is another advantage. You are not investing on new resource, but definitely new knowledge is required. You have to train your people. People have to put some extra effort on the project, but project will run for 3 months. Nothing wrong. You work for 3 months and enjoy a higher profit lifelong. That's a great idea, isn't it? Why don't you work for 3 months so that you can enjoy, maximum profit for the rest of the life? Great idea. That is Six Sigma. So your operating cost remains almost same, except the project implementation cost. That's why Six Sigma is costlier. Why Six Sigma is expensive? People have to be trained first. And then for implementation, a lot of commitment is required. Everyone's role is important. Particularly the role of the top management is very, very important. All that will be taken care by the Six Sigma infrastructure. So the output, you get more output for the same input. This is called a Six Sigma project. And the methodology used is DMAIC. Hope all of you understand Six Sigma. There are different definitions I have given. Six Sigma is profit maximization. Six Sigma is defect reduction. Six Sigma is increasing the output for the same input. Six Sigma is reducing defects by reducing variation. Six Sigma uses a methodology called DMAIC. Define, measure, analyze, improve, control. Now, third scenario. What is the difference you are seeing here? Defect rate remains the same.
Cost.
Operating cost is brought down now. From 72,000, it is decreased to 62,000.
Yeah.
Now what happens? Now also, you become more profitable. Can you see that? You become more profitable, right? So defect rate remains same. For the same defect rate, if you bring down the operating cost, how can you bring down the operating cost? By consuming less of the resources. Am I correct? By consuming less resources. Of course, the needed resources we will be consuming, but we will avoid excessive consumption of the resource. Yes.
Sir, and also reducing the wastage.
Yeah.
That's what. Excessive consumption of the resource is otherwise called as a wasteful activity.
Optimizing the resources.
Yes, very good. Optimization means what is required, you are allowed to consume. No excessive consumption, no underconsumption. Whatever required, you will be allowed to consume. So, producing the same output, consuming less input. I'm not doing anything harm to my business. What is required, I'm ready to provide. What I am not ready to provide, anything you ask in excess, I am not going to provide. Is it logical?
Not balanced.
Yes.
That is called lean thinking. To take what is required, but don't consume more. Be it time, be it money, be it raw material, be it effort, be it machinery, be it floor space, or be it anything. What is required will only be provided. This is called lean thinking. As a result, you will see your profit further going up. Over and above, your operating cost will also come down because you are now consuming less resources. Your operating cost will come down. That means with less money, you can now do more business. Your burden on the loan and loan interest, everything will come down if you apply lean in your company. All of you understand why companies require lean? There are two reasons. One is you really don't require more money to operate your company. You have a loan of 100 crores. You can run the same show with just 40 crores after proper implementation of the loan. That's a beautiful scenario. That means your cash flow will be very smooth. Your operating cost will come down. At the same time, it will lead to profit maximization. Both lean as well as Six Sigma can impact your bottom line heavily. Bottom line growth means profit maximization and bringing down operating cost. Profit maximization and operating cost minimization. Both are called bottom line impact. And now lean will also follow the same methodology because nowadays, lean and Six Sigma go hand in hand. Lean projects also follows DMAIC nowadays, but earlier lean projects were following PDCA, Plan, Do, Check, Act. Deming's PDCA cycle. Scenario 4. Now the idea is, now the difference. What is the difference now? I'm doing both. I'm trying to... Yes,
Defect is reduced, cost is reduced.
Rejects also reduced.
I am reducing the defects also. Simultaneously, I am finding ways to reduce the resource consumption also. That means now my project is now Lean Six Sigma project. Do you understand? I am doing both in the same project. That's a Lean Six Sigma project. So that Lean and Six Sigma can go hand in hand. One of you asked, can Lean be part of DMAC? Yes. Lean is already part of some quick win opportunities. You are trying to solve a big problem, but there are some quick win opportunities identified. Like even before giving the vaccination to Corona, there are many quick win tips were given, isn't it? Wear the mask, keep social distancing. These are called quick wins. Till a proper solution comes to place, some quick win opportunity, same manner. So while you are addressing an effectiveness issue, parallelly, you can also focus on improving the efficiency. That is called Lean Six Sigma. That will also follow the MIC. Now the last scenario. Now you understood Six Sigma, you understood Lean, you also understood what is Lean Six Sigma. Last scenario, your production volume or production capacity is doubled. If your production capacity is doubled, what will happen to your revenue? Revenue will also get doubled. This is called top line growth. Generally, these kind of projects are identified using a top-down approach. Problems that are happening at the downline, you are addressing, that is bottom-up approach. But some new ideas, new thoughts, new expansion plans. That normally comes from the top management, right? The top-down approach is used, and that's why the growth is called top-line growth, right? And these expanding your capacity, you're doubling your capacity. I want to have one more parallel line, but I don't want to compromise on my quality. That means you are developing something new, but you are not ready to compromise your existing quality. This is called design for Six Sigma. Understand? It can be replicating a line. It can be developing a new product. It can be developing a new design. It can be developing a new process. Anything you develop newly. A project is called DFSS project. You might have done hundreds of DFSS projects in your career. Only thing is you did not know that it is coming under DFSS. It will follow a methodology called DMADV. Define, measure, analyze, design, and validate. Define, measure, analyze, design, and validate. Hope it is clear. The boundaries are drawn very clearly, right?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
And now all of you can pick up an answer here from my slide. There are 4 cars I am showing. Whichever car you feel a quality car, please type it in the chat box. Let me see whether you have understood so far well. Please type your answer in the chat box. Which car is a quality car? Out of the 4 options I am giving, which one is a quality car? I am seeing your answers. All of you are done with the answers. I always suggest your participation, right? Your participation is the key. Right now, I got about 8 responses, but there are 30 people here. All right, I've given enough time and 10 of you participated. I could see the BMW dominating. If I ask you, which car is a luxurious car?
I have a doubt, sir.
Yes, madam.
Sir, the question says which is a quality car, but we don't have any parameter to judge or to evaluate. So how can we say that, what is the quality car?
So that's the reason why you have not given your answer, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Very good. I appreciate now. That's how you should react, right? Most of the time we confuse between quality and luxury. We ask you luxurious car. Yes, all the answers are correct. Because most of you have typed BMW. All the cars are quality cars.
All are quality cars.
All are quality cars. All are successful in the market. Because then what is the difference? Customer segmentation is different. Customer segmentation is different. Customer segment is different. And so the requirements are different. The expectations from the Renault Kwid and the expectations from BMW are clearly different. But as long as the expectations are met, the product can be considered a quality product. So the basic definition of quality is meeting your customer expectation. Meeting your customer expectation. And the journey towards quality starts with identifying your customer segment. The journey towards quality starts with identifying your customer segment. What kind of customers you are going to serve? Is it a male or a female? What is the age group? What is their geographical boundary? All these things. What is their buying power? What are their requirements? So the journey towards quality starts with customer segmentation. When I say customer segment, I'm not referring to one person. It is, a huge number of like-minded people who have some interest in your product. You might be producing a car, you might be producing a two-wheeler, or you might be producing a water bottle, or you might be offering a service, insurance service, whatever it is. What kind of people will be interested in your product or in your service? This is called, customer segment. You should be able to define very well. Once the customer segment is defined with the proper boundary, you will now be able to talk about the requirement. Requirements can be many. But what is very, very important is you should be able to capture their requirement and express them in specific statement. Specific statement. For example, at the time of joining the course, what is that you expected from the course? You might have simply made one line, isn't it? Your statement was very vague, sir. Training should be good. But there are a lot of meaning behind the word good. Am I right? Same way, only customer also will respond. Product should have decent quality, but the meaning behind decent quality is 100 meanings. You have to write down each and everything in specific statement, and your work doesn't stop there. Then convert each and every specific requirement into a measurable metric. Once you complete this job, the measurable metric that you derived from the voice of the customer, I mean the expression of the customer, is called CTQ. One product can have 100 CTQ. One product can have 1000 CTQ. Take your smartphone. How many CTQs you expect from a smartphone? You can write down. Throughout the day, you will write, isn't it? My phone should have a big screen. Big screen means what is the diameter in inches or in centimeters. I need my camera to be very clear. What the customer is talking about. He is talking about megapixel. I want so much megapixel in the front camera. I also want so much megapixel in the rear camera. Everything is a CTQ. Nothing but specifications of your product. All of you understand the meaning of the first line, your journey towards quality. Understanding customer requirement is drilled down to identification of CTQs. Is that clear? Yes?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now the CTQs are clear. Now you proceed with the
Hello,
designing.
Sir. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I had one query. In CTQ, as you said, all parameters can be CTQ, but sometimes some specification parameters are functionally not that important. So how we decide which is CTQ and which is not?
No, functionally not important means, that's why, we have prioritization. Whichever functionally important, we will bring it on top of our list. Suppose the finish of the painting that you do it in the chassis of the car. That's what you mean to say, am I right?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes.
The finish, right. The finish of the outer surface of the car is very, very important. But the level of finish in the under chassis is not that much important. So now you decide. The prioritization, the order of importance is changing. Maybe you may have a moderate finish. Am I right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Right.
So we are now listing down all the requirements. After that, all of us have limited resources. We can be a millionaire, we can be a billionaire. But however, our resources are limited. So we have to prioritize while spending the resources, right? So after noting down all the customer requirement, we will only give what is important to the customer. We will not try to give everything, because if I try to give everything, probably it may go to the level of incurring loss. That's not the purpose of the business, right? So I will give what is important to the customer. Once the important ones are given, I will check whether I can give some more. But in the whole process, I should remain profitable. Hope it is agreeable. Now the CTQs are understood. You move on to designing. Now the design, why you design? You wanted to see how your product will look in the market, how it will look in the hands of the customer. Is it really appealing? Is it aesthetically good? Is it functionally good? All that thing, you wanted to see. So you now designed. Maybe you can even create a prototype. You make 10 pieces and see how your phone will look like, how your water bottle will look like, how your product will look like. But you can't use the same method for mass production. Prototype, our requirement is produce 5 pieces, 10 pieces, just to confirm the design is good, isn't it? But for mass production, we develop processes. We will not use the same method of prototyping. We will develop process. What is a process? That will also produce the same product only. But how the process is different from the way you produce the prototype. If you say you have developed a process, the quality of the first product you are making and the quality of the nth product you are going to make will be same. That means there is a process in place. Am I correct? Hundreds of batches of training is happening, but every outcome is acceptable. That means you have process in place. Similarly, you produce 1,000 pieces every day. All 1,000 pieces should go through the quality check, should be acceptable by your customer. That definitely requires a process in place. We'll speak more about the process. Now comes another requirement: process control and process improvement. You can also call it process management. Process control means statistical process control. Why statistical process control is required? If you don't keep an eye on your process, if you don't control the inputs that are going to the process, your outputs, may have defects, isn't it? So in order to ensure your quality is consistently, better, we will have something called process control. Hope all of you will be doing this. You will be collecting some data. You will be plotting control chart every day while starting the shift. You will do certain checking in the shop floor, whether the settings are okay, whether the operator has come on time, and all those things you are checking. Why? Because you wanted to have control in your quality. So sometimes what happens, an improvement will be required. When improvement is required, if your process is designed badly, improvement is required. How do you know your process is designed badly? There are internal rejections. Internal rejection itself is 10%, 20%. It simply means your process, the way the process designed is really bad. Sometimes you designed well, everything is going smooth, but your competitors have come up with a better process. They are more profitable than you. They are able to satisfy the customer better than you. Is it a situation that really requires some improvement? Definitely, isn't it? So whenever your competitors are doing better, you can't keep quiet. You can't say that, my product is this and competitor product is that. If you keep quiet, sometimes, it may go to the extent of kicking you completely out of the market. So you should always, refer to what your competitors are doing. If they come up with a better process, better product, or the customer requirement is changing all of a sudden, you should alert yourself and then improve your process. What I'm trying to say is process control and process improvement, you can't avoid in any company. You can't avoid in any organization. If you can work well here in the fourth segment, ultimately all of us attending the program, you will be working in one of the four steps. Some of you might be, studying about the customer requirement, market need analysis, or customer need analysis. Some of you might be working in designing. Some of you might be, working in the process development and all those things. But many of you might be working as managing certain process. That means you should be very good in process control and process improvement. And this is what you are learning here. And you will definitely be, paid better if you can work here. Because this is what, every company, struggles. How to ensure statistical control, how to ensure our consistency is, our quality is consistently maintained. How to ensure we keep up with the market requirement. The key word is process control and process improvement. One more time, we are seeing here, everything is boiling down to process. Am I correct?
Yes.
So process improvement is the key, not only to quality, but all your business results depends on the way you design your process. You design your process badly, yes, such a result only will come. It is like, growing an orange tree. If you grow an orange tree, you can definitely produce oranges. But sometimes you want apples. Will you be able to produce apples from the same orange tree? Definitely impossible. If you want to change the fruits, you must necessarily change the roots. Similarly, in any business, if you are expecting better results, you have to improve the process. Because better results can only come from better processes. Same process can only give same result. Same process can only give same result. And in Six Sigma, we call it y equal to f of x. Any process can be expressed as y equal to f of x, right? Your y definitely depends on x, and your business results completely depends on the process. Running the same process again and again and expecting different result is the biggest insanity. I'm not saying this. Albert Einstein has said this. Running the same process again and again and expecting different results and better results is definitely a foolish activity. Am I correct? You want better results, you definitely require better process. Better process means process improvement.
Yes,
Six Sigma is a process improvement methodology. Six Sigma is a process improvement methodology. It works at the process level. It doesn't work at the product level. It doesn't work at your system level. It doesn't work at your organization level. It works at the process level. We improve process by process. And slowly, your business results will improve, right? First, you focus on the key processes, critical processes. Then shift your focus to the next priority. Then gradually, all the business processes will operate at a higher level of capability. That's the time you will start achieving zero defect goal. Till then, zero defect goal will only be a dream, right? So you have to ensure, because each and every process is important. But at the same time, since we have the limited resource, we will focus on critical process first. We'll prioritize. Because it will be a very costly affair if you try to improve everything. That's definitely difficult for any company. At least you improve the critical processes. And now let us understand little max behind this process approach. Y is called output. X are called input. Y is just the output, one output. One output depends on many input. So Y is one and X are many. Hope all of you understand this. To produce an output, there are many inputs that goes inside. And the output depends on input. Am I correct with my statement?
Yes.
And never the input depends on output. Output only depends on input. So your Y depends on X. So Y is called a dependent variable. Y is called dependent variable. Mathematically, X are called independent variable. You have direct control over the X, not over the Y. Am I correct? You have direct control over the X, but not over the Y. Always anything you wanted to improve, you should first of all know whether it is an X or Y. If it is an X, you can improve just like that. Like your Kaizen. No complication, nothing difficult to understand. But what you are trying to improve is your Y variable. Then you should have a process approach. Let us say your sugar level, you wanted to bring it down. Your sugar levels are abnormally high. Is it an X variable or Y variable?
X
variable.
Oh, is it really? Tomorrow your sugar level, you can decide.
Y variable, and the reasons for the sugar is X, right?
Yeah. Reason for higher sugar level is X. So what I asked is your sugar level. Is it X
Y
or Y? That will definitely depend on many factors. What are the factors? The calories you consume is an important factor. Your physical activity, the number of steps you walk every day, that's a critical factor. The number of hours you sleep, that's an important factor.
Diet.
Your diet, the stress level you go through every day. All these things, can affect the whole process behind, and sugar level can be different every day. If you really wanted to have a good control over the sugar level, you should have good control over all these factors.
Yes.
Now you understand Y and X.
Correct.
And now for a specific problem with your Y, the reason will definitely be on the right side of the equation. Am I correct? If there is a problem with your Y, the reason is on the right side of the equation. Sometimes the problem could have been caused by one X. Sometimes the problem could have been caused by many of the X together can play. Right? What I'm trying to say is the reason for the problem, nothing but the root cause, can be one, can be many. Let us say your product is coffee day. You're running coffee day. thousands of outlets across the country. You have different variants. Take one variant, cappuccino or something. Now, if you take a variant of a coffee, the taste is very important. Customer come to your coffee shop for the specific taste you are giving. Now the taste, when I say taste, tell me, is it a Y variable or X variable?
Taste is the X
Y
variable.
variable.
Y variable.
Y variable.
Y.
Taste is the output. Yeah.
It is the output.
Taste is output. Taste is not an input. Taste is output. So Y variable. But again, it's a broader term. It is not a CTQ. Please understand. It is customer's voice. When I say taste, it is customer's voice. What is the CTQ? Drill it down, please. What do you mean by taste?
Right
combination of
ingredients.
That means you want to know your coffee to have a desired level of sweetness. Am I right?
Yes.
You want your coffee to have the desired level of strongness. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yes.
You want your coffee to have the desired level of hotness. Am I correct?
Yes.
Sweetness, strongness, hotness, etc., etc., etc. These are all the CTQs. If all the CTQs are good, you will say the coffee is super. The coffee is tasty. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So customer voice must be drilled down to measurable metrics. When I say taste, measurability is very weak. When I say hotness, I can measure the temperature. When I say sweetness, I can find a way to measure the sweetness. When I say strongness, I can even find a way to measure the strongness. Let us say the problem is related to the strongness. Problem is related to the strongness. Coffee is not stronger. Now tell me, what is the factor that played now? What is the factor that affected the strongness of the coffee? Is it the sugar?
Quantity of coffee.
Oh, quantity of coffee powder. The coffee powder is the culprit here. Coffee powder is mishandled. Either they put less, so the coffee is less stronger, or they put more, so the coffee is more stronger. Both case, coffee is not good. I want appropriate level of coffee powder. Now, in this example, the root cause is coffee powder. How many of you understand? Of you understand, right? Because the example is very simple, straightforward. All of you should be able to understand. The root cause is coffee powder. Suppose my coffee is not sweet enough, so that a lot of customer complaints are happening now. Coffee is not sweeter. Now the culprit is sugar.
Yeah.
Amount of sugar you added per 100 ml of the coffee is not appropriate. Now the root cause is sugar. Coffee is not, hot. The temperature at which the coffee is served is not appropriate now. Sometimes the combination of it can kill your taste. That means there are multiple root causes. Multiple root causes means the problem is really complex. A new formula has to be arrived by you only. If there is only one root cause, you already have a formula, and which is that root cause, and then set it right, all done. So your problem is considered complex if there are multiple root causes. Hope all of you understand. How do we define the complexity of the problem? Yeah. Whether the root causes are just few or many. And moreover, if you really wanted to solve any problem, first thing is you should be able to identify the root cause. You should be able to identify the root cause. There are certain tools you will be learning, like your brainstorming, like how all of us are talking about the coffee right now. So what is the tool we are using? We are using brainstorming, right? All of us are competent enough to talk about the coffee. Isn't it? We know about the product. We have the knowledge. So all of us know this is how you should also conduct the brainstorming. You bring irrelevant people, then irrelevant inputs will come and discussion will be hijacked in the wrong direction. So you have to be careful while using the tool. And now brainstorming, use cause and effect analysis, the fishbone analysis. Ultimate idea is you wanted to identify the root cause. But in a typical business scenario or a business environment, people will not allow you to make the changes just like that. Am I correct? So far, the company was, executing a process in a particular manner last 5 years. And all of a sudden you are saying that, they are wrong. Do you think they will accept? They will never accept. Though you have understood something, nobody is going to accept and nobody is going to allow you to make changes in the process. In order to make changes in the process, first of all, you should make them understand their innocence. You should make them understand that what they are doing is wrong. This is called validation. This is called validation. I will do some live experiment and prove to them that if you mishandle the sugar, your coffee cannot be sweeter. I'll prove to that. I'll prove that. Possible or not? This is called validation. I will do a live experiment in product by making a mistake and will show them defects and problems happening in all 10 attempts. This is called validation. This is a statistical procedure. This is a statistical procedure and is known as hypothesis testing. Hypothesis testing. Once the experimentation is done, people will definitely be convinced now. A new medicine, launch it to the market. You do hypothesis testing, isn't it? You will test it in some animals, you will test it in some mammals, and you will test it in some human beings, and it is good with all the tests. Now you will accept. The product will come to the market. This is called validation. Hope it is clear, all of you. First, what we did, root cause identification. Then, root cause validation. Now, root cause is validated. Now, I understood sugar is the culprit. Complaint is coffee is not sweeter. Now, I want more sweet. Now, what should I do? Should I add sugar or should I reduce sugar?
Add sugar.
Add sugar.
If you want more sweet, you need to add sugar. That means you know that increasing the sugar will increase the sweetness. That means the relationship is positive. When I increase the X, what happens to my Y? Y also increases. This is called a root cause relationship. Before talking about a solution, you should have a clarity on the root cause relationship. Am I correct with my statement? If you don't know how the root cause will affect your Y, you may sometimes tune your X in a wrong direction. That will further intensify the problem. Am I correct? With the coffee and sugar sweetness example, discussion is going on very well because no complication. But if I change the coffee by your product, what is your product? You now think about it. Your product is, let's say the windshield in the car, the glass window. A glass window will have so many CTQs, am I right? The strength is important. The transparency is important. The thickness is important. There is a problem with the strength of the glass component you produce. Now, what are the X factor? All of a sudden, there are too many customer complaints. They are saying that your glass is breaking during the transit itself. Now tell me which is the X factor. Difficult, right? Now this is difficult. This is not as easy as the coffee and sugar. So always when when the problem is complex in your hand, you have to be systematic in problem solving. Your mere fishbone diagram cannot help you. Most of the time we settle at fishbone analysis and then implement the solution. We have not validated the root cause. We have not understood the relationship. There is one more thing. Root cause sufficiency. What is that? Root cause sufficiency. If the problem is sweetness, the root cause is only sugar. If the problem is sweet taste, root cause can be many. Do you understand? When I say taste, it is related to everything. When I say sweetness, it is related to just one thing. Whether the crime is done by a single criminal or multiple criminals are involved, that is the question now. If there are multiple criminals, who is the gang leader? And who are next? This is called factor sufficiency. What is the contribution of each of the factor in causing the problem? Unless and until you are very clear with root cause identification, root cause validation, root cause relationship, root cause sufficiency, you are not fit to talk about the solution. Is that clear? The entire team should have a clarity on root cause identification, root cause validation, root cause relationship, root cause sufficiency. Then only you should arrange a brainstorming session. You all are now eligible to talk about the solution. Why am I suggesting this? Because the problem in hand is really complex in nature. If it is a mere coffee shop you are running and your coffee is not stronger, yes, you need not think too much to come out with a solution. But if your product is something else and the issue is really critical, you have to be systematic. And this way of solving problem is nothing but, Six Sigma way of problem solving. I would like to stop here. You can apply this to any product, not necessarily coffee. You can apply to your laddu also. You can apply to your product also. You should be able to see a process behind making anything. Is there a process behind making laddu also?
Yes.
Is there output in laddu? Can you tell me few CTQs with respect to the laddu?
Ingredient.
What are the CTQs?
It should be round in shape.
It should be round in shape.
Round in shape of laddu.
Wait. If you say round, it is voice of customer. You are now talking about the diameter of the laddu. Isn't it? Now it is a CTQ. If you say diameter of the laddu is important, it is a CTQ.
Size, yeah. Okay.
Size of the
very
laddu.
good. Very good. I really appreciate. What are the other CTQs with the
That
laddu?
is the flavoring.
Flavoring.
The color, the texture.
Color. Okay. You want the laddu in yellow color, right? Always.
The grain size
okay.
of bundi.
Okay. Then overall weight of the laddu, that is also important CTQ.
Yes.
The grain size of the bundi.
If you play with any of these set CTQs, customer will file a case one day. Be very careful. Isn't it? If you are selling laddu and your laddu you mentioned as 70 grams, but you are giving only 65 grams, one person will definitely file a case one day. Is it not? So you have to be very, very careful when you are making commitment, right? In any of your product. And you need to know what are the CTQs there in your product. And all the CTQs are Y variable because the weight of the laddu depends on the amount of bundi you are adding. All the ingredients, isn't it? And the process began. You can see all the X here. Can you see the X here? All of them are X factor. And can you see the process here? How to make the laddu? 8 steps are there. How are you going to ensure consistency in the taste of your laddu? Because every day you have to produce 10,000 laddu. You require a process, isn't it? You can't, if you are making laddu for your family one day, that's fine. You don't require process. But if you have to supply 10,000 laddu every day, the first laddu as well as the 10,000, the last laddu, both should have the same taste. Am I right?
Recipe, sir.
So this thinking is called Six Sigma thinking. This is called process improvement approach. We'll be talking more about it after your lunch.
Okay, sir.
Sir, one question here. So X